Hello everybody. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm on Facebook Live so late. Also why I'm on Facebook Live instead of YouTube. Whoa. Well, I have a really big problem with being consistent, I guess. So I like to do things however they come up, essentially. And I have just, I had a dream last night that one of my friends came and told me that it was a full moon, and I didn't know that because I haven't really been keeping up with a lot of the astrology and stuff. So, or, anything really. And I don't know, I really feel this full moon very present. And I just thought, just go on there at midnight, someone might need it, someone might not, but you'll be here and you'll do your thing. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's going on today, and then I'm gonna do the readings. So if you at any point get on this thing and just want me to read for you, just do a little comment in there. And just tell me your zodiac sign and I'll read that sign next. Because I know usually you guys get on there and then it's like waiting until she gets there. But not today because it's midnight. And also I'm tired. So, anyway, this full moon is really, this whole stuff, this whole summer, this whole year, God. This whole year has been so crazy. And this full moon in Aquarius really feels like it really is talking about our strength in numbers and our strength in the unity that we have. So I was just writing a post and I thought, why not just say it? But basically, I think it's important, and it's a really good time for us to remember that we are all a part of God. That we are all, even if you wanted to see it as a metaphor, a visual, we're all tiny, like the rays of light that all make up God. Even if we are rays of light and those rays of light are separate, that's what makes God complex. And I think it's important for us to know, to really sit with that information that we are part of God. And that because we are part of God, we are unbelievably strong and perfect. I want to say that very carefully because I don't want you to think that, oh, well, I'm perfect, so I can't do anything wrong. It's really a lot more than your insecurities. We come here and we decide that it's okay for us to forget who we are so that we can have an experience, So we come here in order to really experience this world, and we decide that we want to forget that we are divine beings, right? So our goal is to try to go back to that place where we remember. And if we are divine beings, worldly problems, they're not really that big of a deal. And I was really thinking about all of the judgments that we put on people, based on where they're from, what they look like, who they like to sleep with. Everything. All of those things. They're so useless. They're so useless. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else does in this world, because at the end of the day, they're still a part of you. They still make up God with you. It doesn't matter. You don't serve different gods. You don't, you know, you're not like, there's not a hierarchy of the rays of the light, you know. There's no, this light is better than that one and this one is shining more than the other one. It's not. It's impossible. Aquarius is it's a very social activism kind of space, okay? Aquarius is very much like, let's all work for this one thing, and I think it's time that we really sit in that energy. This is a great full moon. It's really time for us to acknowledge that there's so many people around us, and if you consider yourself to be awake, it's a weird word, but if you consider yourself to be woke, you should know that we are love and we are light. And once we learn how to accept that in us and how to see that in ourselves and how to love ourselves, we need to go teach others how to do the same thing. That's why I'm here at midnight. Because at some point someone's going to see this. And I know it could possibly be important to them. We are teachers. We are light workers. We're empaths and star seeds and earth angels. I don't know. Doreen Virtue took a big place in the beginning of my life. But we are light workers. And light work doesn't just mean that you do energy work on people. Light work doesn't mean that you dress with nice clothing and you're very nice to people, and sometimes, you get stressed out. It doesn't mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you are going to charge to do Reiki. It doesn't mean that you are going to, give readings to people. It doesn't mean anything like that. That's not what a light worker is. A light worker is someone that works with the light and is the light. And you know who is a light? Everybody. All of us. Some of us are awake. Some of us know this thing. Some of us have done a lot of work to get to where we are now. Some of us are just a little bit more ahead than others based on our journey. But it does nothing. It does absolutely nothing if we don't share it with other people. If we don't actively try to teach them, to try to bring them up to our vibration or the vibration of the world. It doesn't do anything if we don't actively use our ability or our knowledge or our empathy or anything like that. It doesn't do anything if we don't do it for the world. Because we are all together. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start Aries. But I really want you guys to know that if you are not contributing to the world in whatever way, I'm not telling you that you guys need to go and do what everybody else thinks is right. I'm not telling you to go, protest, which if you are, that's amazing. I'm not telling you that you need to go and tell other people that they're wrong because they don't believe in whatever I'm saying or whatever. We all believe in one thing. Everybody. No matter what. Every single culture believes in one same thing. And that is love. We are all a part of God. For me, that means that we are all love. You don't need to tell others that whatever they believe in is wrong, because it's not. It's not. Because I guarantee you that they believe in love, and love is everything. If they are thriving in the life that they are living right now, there's nothing wrong with that. So long as they have love. You know, that's why whenever people make movies about people that don't have love, they are miserable. Because that's the secret. And I've been working with that for a long time now, I guess. And I really realized today that okay, this is going to sound really weird, and I don't know, maybe I'm oversharing, but today I was with my boyfriend, and it was really nice. It was really, really nice. And I mean, if you know anything about me, you know that I'm not very good with relationships, or I wasn't very good with commitment. I usually don't pick the right person. But it was really nice to be in a place where you are accepting of love. And I was just thinking about it on my way home, and I kept thinking, like, you know, this is my progress. This is the progress that I made, staring me right in the face right now. Because a year ago, I would have never been able to be where I am now. I wouldn't have been able to accept love or give it without feeling weak or without feeling some sort of way, you know? This is the progress that I've made for this amount of time. I am actually strong enough to say now that I learned how to love myself. I learned how to love myself, and because I love myself, and I love other people, and I love the oneness of everybody, I can actually be in love and be in a good relationship where I don't feel threatened all the time like before, you know? Where I don't feel like things are hard for me. And they might be hard for him, because, I mean, obviously we're not I've been doing work for a long time. But, you know, he still has those things where he feels very insecure about things. He questions stuff. He like overthinks about stuff all the time, and that's totally fine. And he was telling me about it today, and just pull the lowers. He was telling me about it today, and it's so hard for him. And he was like, "You just make it look so easy." And I was like, "Dude, you have no. I mean, I just smile a lot, and it just, you know." But it was never easy, and I had to tell him that it's not easy. I just did a lot of work. So anyway, if you guys are going through anything, if you guys are struggling, feeling that you don't have the courage to do something, you don't have the strength to do something, just know that you do. And whoever you are right now is a direct result of every decision you have made until that point. So if you're better off now than you were a year ago, that was you. Did you, did you quit smoking? Did you stop smoking? One day you just said, "You know what? Never gonna do it again." And then you just never did it again. Sorry, that was music. But that was you working. That was you working a lot. You go to therapy, that's work. Man, that's work. As a counselor in training, I can guarantee you that that's work. But sorry, just shuffling. I'm getting distracted. You just have to let yourself do it and know that you can do it. That's one of the biggest parts. You need to know that you are very capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. Because your mind is such an incredible and strong thing. It's really unbelievable how much people, you know, when I was a kid, I used to watch those commercials of the trucks. I don't even know. I think it was a Ford F-150, I think. And it was a very sappy commercial about, not sappy, it was a corny commercial about, the end slogan was like, the only thing that can beat a Ford F-150 or something, I don't know, is another Ford F-150. And I used to be like, the only thing that can beat a Mexican is another Mexican. That was a kid. But anyway, that's kind of the same thing with your mind. The only thing that can beat your mind or you is your ego. That is a part of you. Is you. Yeah. The only thing that can beat you down. That can truly beat you down. Like, actually, the only thing that can ever hurt you is you. Because you choose. You choose everything. I'm telling you, everything that you do, you choose. Anyway, I'm going to start rambling. But let's do Aries real quick. It's an interesting full moon. Maybe I'll just start doing my lives on the full moon. Oh, Aries. Oh. So we got the King of Cups for Aries. And then on the underlying, I usually like to do the Hermit. I usually like to look at the underlying just to get a little bit more of information. But Aries, I think you're really glad to get out of the summer. Actually, it feels like you're kind of ready to just chill. Okay, yeah. Okay. So Aries, it really, really, really feels like you're just ready to go home, take a nice bath, and just chill. Okay, and that's where the Hermit comes in. So I think you've just been so overly emotional, Aries, that you have been, you're just drained. You're just like, oh my God, why can't I catch a break? And I think a break is coming. So that's good. You've probably also reached a certain level of maturity over the last few months. Maybe a certain level of awareness about your own emotional state and what that actually does to people around you, okay? Because we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups, everybody's always like, oh, it's just a mature guy that, it's a mature guy with feelings, essentially. But he's still a king. And kings affect other people by default. So this is what you need to look at, okay? You are going to be in a state where you're just more open to listening, more open to being self-aware, more open for just like retreating and being in a good space with yourself and with the people around you. So this is really looking like a good month for you, but you need to make sure that you are not looking for fights. Okay, because just because you're in an emotional, an emotional zen state doesn't mean that Buddha was the old person, guys. Even if he was like super, super enlightened, he was still a person. And people have feelings, and feelings aren't always the nicest. So, with that in mind, it looks like a good month for you, though. That's for sure. I think the King of Cups, anything Cups related really is always really good, but I'm also Scorpio, so I might just be biased a little bit, you know? But, all right, let's do Taurus. So I'm going to do these really quick because it is midnight and I don't want to stay here forever. If you guys are watching and you want me to read your sign next, just comment it up here and I will read you. I will read your sign next, just so you're not waiting there forever. So let's do Taurus 2020. Nice. Ooh. All right, so we got the 10 of Cups. Another Cups, wow. Yay. And then the underlying, wow, Taurus, Jesus. The underlying, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Those are really good cards. Wow, that's crazy. I think that Tauruses have been, you've been reaping, okay, the whole phrase is reaping what you sow, essentially. I think Tauruses have been really patient and really being intentional with the things that they are putting out for themselves. They have been very resilient and very consistent with making sure that they hi, me too. I mean, they're on YouTube now, but they're just, it's weird. I got like a few trolls here the other day, like a long time ago, and that's kind of why I left this page, because I don't like trolls. Trolls scare me. But anyway, I'll read Gemini next. It's actually the next one anyway, so it doesn't, it's pretty cool. Anyway, Tauruses, I think you've been really, really good about putting your intentions forward, and now these next few months you are going to be reaping what you sowed. I think that's the word, but basically it's just you being in a really good place with the people that you love, emotionally and financially. So it really is sitting with, honestly, I mean, guys, this is the 10 of anything, okay? The 10 of anything, if you guys like tarot, the 10 of the Pentacles, the Cups, all of those are super positive cards, except maybe the Swords, but Swords are interesting. But they talk about completion. So we have Cups, completion in Cups. So if you've been putting a lot of attention in your relationships, this is where I have a feeling that somebody waited. They were getting options and they waited. And then now they are finding, this month they're going to find what they waited for. So it was one of those things where you were like, I probably could do better than that or something. And now you're going to get it because you waited, you were patient. And then this card, the 10 of Pentacles, which is the underlying, is about stability. So you're just in a really stable place. And because you've been so patient, Taurus, which is not like you, that's why you get this. Okay. All right, let's do Geminis. Thanks. Yes. I will do Aquarius right after Gemini. So let's do Gemini, August 2020. Whew. Okay. So for your card, Gemini, I have the Ace of Wands, and the underlying is the King of Cups. So let me just... The Ace of Wands is going to be talking a lot about passion. And I think that that's where you are this month, okay? So the Ace of Wands talks about two very important things: passion and your mindsets. And the Ace is going to talk about you, okay? So you are bringing in, and it really feels like you're bringing in boundaries. Yeah. You're bringing in boundaries with love. And I think that that's really good. Okay, so it's like the underlying, we got the King of Cups, right? And we were just talking about this, and it was this mature dude with emotions. So I think because you've been doing work, you've been doing a lot of work, and you're now sitting in this place right now. So in this very like mature, emotionally mature, emotionally intuitive place, and that is allowing you to really put in all of the boundaries and bring in all of the information that you want, because Geminis are very curious people, and I think that there is something out there that you really, really want to work with, and this card is telling you to go ahead. Start working with what you want. And I think a lot of times with Geminis, it's their insecurity of what people are going to think, or how they're going to move forward, the logistics of everything. But this card is telling you to bring it, okay? You need to just do it. And I think that's going to be your best. Hi, Valley. Let me just take that out. But so this is really good. I really think that whatever it is that you are pondering, you just need to go ahead and do it, and you need to take this as validation that the work that you've been doing is going to pay off, especially with those boundaries with yourself and your emotions, even like boundaries with your own and with your own person. I think a lot of people think about putting up boundaries with the people around you, but sometimes you need to put boundaries with yourself, okay? Like if you are working towards someone or towards something, or perhaps if you keep attracting the same type of individual that is not necessarily good for you, obviously you want to work with those things, but at the end of the day, you need to really put the boundary there that's like, hey, if they're not treating me right, or if I'm not getting what I need to leave. And I think that this month you're really, really sitting on that emotional maturity of being able to say, hey, this is me, this is what I have to offer, this is what I want, and we can work with this. If not, then I'll take it somewhere else. But all right, let's do Aquarius. Valley, I am jumping around, so I should probably write these down, just so I don't get confuzzled. So I've done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and now I'm doing Aquarius. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius, I I don't want to say anything against anybody else, right? But because I love everybody else, but Aquariuses are my favorite. They're so cool. They're so unique. I'm doing August readings with the zodiac signs. All right, so Aquarius. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And with the underlying, we have the Hangman. And immediately I feel like you know exactly where this is going, I think. So the Hangman is going to be your underlying, and this is what your month looks like right here. And what this is basically telling me is that you have been picking up for a lot of other people around you. Okay, like everybody just kind of walks around your area and they throw away whatever they want, wherever they want to, and then you kind of just like pick it up. Make sure your area is clean. And that might be in your job, because Pentacles is money. That might be in your job. That might even be in your family, you know? You find yourself picking up the slack for people. You find yourself just working extra when you really don't need to. And the Hangman is going to also kind of talk about that. And the interesting thing is that in the Rider-Waite, this dude, or in some decks, this dude is not actually hanging from anything. He just looks like he's hanging. So, I think the underlying is that you have been allowing people to, how do I say this? You've been allowing people to kind of walk into your own space, walk into your space without really putting up your boundaries. And honestly, it almost feels like you're doing it because you do get something out of it. You know, you like taking care of people, and you like being surrounded by people and learning a lot about them. And I think that they're just not giving you what you want back, and you're not taking yourself some other place, or you're not establishing those boundaries around yourself and what you were allowed to give. But it really does feel like you were doing it almost on purpose, because the Hangman talks about basically, this is not exactly the right word to use, but I can't think of the actual word. But it's like victimizing almost. And people that do that get something out of it. It's not a bad thing. It's not at all. I think what we need to learn whenever we get into these things is that we just do things, okay? Like we have behaviors around us that we learn to do, and then at some point they become at some point we learn to do specific things, and then we carry it into the rest of our life, and then if it becomes problematic, then we start changing it. So the Hangman is talking about a pattern where you are not standing up for yourself, and because you're not standing up for yourself, you're like carrying everybody else's job, essentially. That's the short version of that. And so this month you're gonna move yourself into that space again. I think that there is something that you want to do. Let's see. Let me pull out a card from a roomie deck because I feel like there's something that you want to do that you've been kind of wanting to do for a while, but you don't really do it. And so maybe we just need to figure out why you are carrying people's stuff around you. Clarifying card is from my roomie oracle deck. So Aquarius, you got okay. Just because you're a healer doesn't mean that people get to walk all over you. Yeah, that's what the thing is, okay? Just because you are a healer, just because you are loving, you're empathetic, just because you're those things doesn't mean that people can take advantage of who you are. That's the word. Here, so I got the cloak of Christ. If that gives you a little bit of a reason why I said that. Anyway. Alright, Valley, I'm just doing I'm doing the monthly Tarotscope readings. So I have been jumping around because people will watch, and I don't want them to like wait forever. So if you I will read for Cancer next. Hello, Mariana. I'll read for Virgo after I read for Cancer. Just gotta make sure I write it down because I'm gonna forget. All right, let's do Cancer. August. All right, Cancers. Ooh. Okay, so we got the Queen of Swords for Cancer, and the underlying is the 4 of Cups. No, wait, 6 of Cups. Roman numerals. So for the underlying, we got the 6 of Cups, and the top, we got the Queen of Swords. And as a sentence, I think that you, right now, you are doing a lot of soul searching in your memories, I guess. So the Queen of Swords is someone that's trying to find the truth. They're talking about justice. They're talking about, I mean, it's the card for Libra, so we gotta have balance. We gotta have truth. We gotta have integrity. And I think that something about your past is really bringing this up, whether you are doing a lot of shadow work this month, or whether you've been thinking or contemplating about what went on at some point in your life, you know, whatever part of your life you're looking at right now. And I think it probably has to do with your connections to people. So like I really hear a lot of questioning. I hear a lot of questioning of like, why did this happen, or where did the turn go, or is this good? Am I in the right place? What does this mean in my life? How did it affect me? How can I move forward? Or even, wow, you know, this past event really brought so much truth to who I am now. And so it really involves a lot of shadow work that you're going through this month. And it can be really heavy. It can be very heavy shadow work, but in the end, you get into the completion state, right? So you get into the, I know I pulled another card. You get into this card, which is the Nine of Cups, and this is completion. This is, you pick up all of your karmic stuff, pick up all of your emotions, everything that you've been, arranging everywhere, and you pick it up, you clean it off, you say, thank you, you served me well, I love you, I'm sorry if I did anything bad or, to hurt you, and I'm very grateful for you. Also, that's a prayer, that's a Hawaiian prayer that my therapist told me to do, and I love it. It's called, I'm going to say it because it's funny, but it's called Ho'oponopono. So you're really in that space this month, Cancer, and I think it's a good space, but I think the only thing that we need to avoid here, at least, is the cynicism. The Queen of Swords is very cynical. She is a very, cup half empty kind of vibe. And the Six of Cups isn't, if you want to see it again. The Six of Cups is a good memories card. It's a good, past friendships. It's a good people from the past coming back into your life, and it's a good thing. But then you come into this energy, and look at that huge sword. She's not exactly super welcoming. So I think that's the only thing that you really want to look at this month, is the fact that you need to maybe not be so cynical and just allow yourself to go through that work, and allow yourself to feel all of that work. And if somebody that from the past does come back into your life this month, even if it doesn't feel like it should be the right thing to do, or like if it doesn't feel like it's good, the good will probably come out of it. And that's what you really want to focus on. The fact that you're going to get to learn something through it. Even if it's a little bit of a struggle. Okay, that was Cancer. Let's do Virgo. Thank you. Oh, Virgos. Most of my friends are Virgos, and y'all are a little crazy, but I love you. Right, so we have the Three of Cups, which is a great card, but underlying it, we have the Five of Wands. So what we really want to look at here is where your friendly drama is sitting. How do I even start this? Okay, let's see. So, as a card this month, whatever has been happening in the last few months, if you've been having a lot of issues with your relationships or anything, those are going to start resolving themselves. The point of this month, especially because you go into, it's almost your birthday, so. So you're going into a good place, okay? You're going into a very celebratory place, but there is also all of that back energy that is concentrating on fighting. And probably not a good fighting. It kind of feels like a very, petty fighting. It doesn't feel like the type of fighting that you do with people that, you know, it's going to last forever and ever. It just feels like, hey, you didn't do this right. Like good old Virgo, right? You didn't do this right, or you're doing something and then they're like, no, you're crazy. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to talk. You know, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a serious fight. It feels like there was a disagreement, and if you can come back and have like open communication about it, you can move into this very celebratory space with your friends. And it really doesn't feel like anything romantic. It might be like, it might be with people that, I don't know how to say this. It might be with people that you are very close to, almost like a siblings. Okay. So it could totally be this like sibling rivalry or whatever. You guys are just kind of having an off month maybe, or there's been a lot of like bickering around there. But at the end of the day, you can trust them and you can rely on them and you can celebrate with them, whatever winds come forward. Also, Virgos, there has been a lot of talk for you guys about new projects and about new opportunities coming up, whether it's romantic, creative, work-wise, writing for a lot of Virgos. Those opportunities, or you even moving to a new house, moving to a new place, getting a new car, all of those things. All of those things are what people want other people to celebrate with. You know, like my friend who's a Virgo just got a car. And she, like immediately after she got the car, she drove here and she was like, hey, you want to look at it? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. So it's like having friends for those things, to celebrate those things, and also to go and talk to about, you know, not so nice things. But it is really important for you to look beyond your bickering and to look at the thank you, to look at the real friendship and sisterhood, or whatever that you want to call it, that exists there for you. So that's going to be a lot of this month for you to really look at those relationships. Anyway, so we have, does anybody else want to comment theirs? If not, I am going with Leos. So I'm going to stay here for a second. Anybody else want me to do their zodiac sign or their other people's zodiac sign? Otherwise, I'm going with Leo. I know there's like a lag, so I'm trying to give a little bit of time. No? Okay. All right, let's do Leos then. Happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday. Leos have been having a very, I mean, everybody's been having a very rough year, right? But Leos especially, I think. Leos have been having a very emotionally draining year. And I don't know if it's because of, it probably has something to do with Jupiter and Uranus, honestly, but whatever. Uranus? I still laugh when I say Uranus. I still laugh. But, alright, let's do Leos. All right, Leo, we got the Knight of Pentacles with the underlying of the Moon. So, like I was saying, Leos have been having a very tough year, you know, aside from everybody else. But for Leos, it's been very hard, especially when it comes to your destiny, I want to say. Like your, destiny, your life path, your passion. Who are you, essentially? I was telling my friend, for me, and I know that this is for a lot of people, but for me, being a teacher is who I am. It definitely makes up like 96% of my whole identity, right? And I think that Leos, and the reason why I say that is because Leos, I think, are struggling with that a little bit. And it's really interesting because Leos are, the sun. They're all about Leos and brightness and greatness and expressing themselves. But it feels like for the last few months, you haven't really been feeling all that expressive. And so I think that you're struggling to find the right path for you. The right path for you that is going to develop your identity, or that is going to put you in a growth mindset. So the moon naturally talks about hidden enemies. And while for some Leos, I do feel like there is people conspiring against you, probably in some way. People haven't really been the nicest lately, I think, and you've been really, really feeling that. And so there's like this whole need to move somewhere, to move forward. But it feels difficult though, because it's like you're almost losing all like the foundation of who you are and what you've been doing. So I think that personally, I think that the way for that to be would be to figure out what relationship is kind of putting stress in your life and turning around and knighting. Knights are warriors, fight for your space. If it's worth it at that point, like, are they taking away the value of that place? Is it gonna not work for you anymore if you get into a fight with them or whatever? Like, I really think it has to do with confrontation. For you to either choose to confront this person, or for you to confront the feelings you have about this person. If it is a person that is kind of not being very nice to you, but of course it could be a whole bunch of other things, but there's still this very, there's this like anger in there. And it might even be your anger, and you're feeling angry and you just kind of want to run away. So, or throttle away with this horse. So I think you need to turn around and you need to confront it. You need to figure out where it comes from, why it's there, what is it playing with you, like what role is it playing in your life, and just go from there. Otherwise this month it really is just a lot of that cultivating that and like that tension. And the Knight of Pentacles is someone that is not too mature about their financial or foundational spot. So it really could be that you want to just travel somewhere else and take a break from all of that stuff. Just move away from it. It really is this, like, it feels very much like this, like, I just want to just go. Go. I want to go to a better place for now. If you have questions about that, please let me know. I know that obviously these are like completely subjective readings, and well, that's not the right word. they're for a whole bunch of people, you know, whoever watches this. It's a whole zodiac sign. So I'm always open to answering questions about my readings, or even if you have a question that you would like a reading for. But so yeah, if that didn't really make sense to you, you can totally ask me questions, and I will probably answer them. I will definitely answer them, not probably. Let's do Libras. Libra. So Libras are changing. I've been feeling, and I think it's important for me to say this, I've been feeling the evolution of zodiacs. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you guys, but I've been feeling the way, like, say in like 1994 when I was born, Scorpios were this like terrible creature. Libras, let's just go with Libras. Libras were this like very flimsy, whimsical, they didn't know how to make a decision. They were just kind of flirty and just kind of, you know, they weren't taken very seriously. But I've been feeling the change and the growth in Libras, and it really is very strong. It talks a lot about being decisive with what you want, and even if you are not being decisive, it's because you are noticing everything else, and at that point it's kind of impossible to make a choice. So it's strength. It really is like growing. It's like the growing up of the sign, honestly. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it really, really did that. Anyway, let's do Libras. So we got the 10 of Wands for August. Wow, they're going all over the place. And the 8 of Cups for the background. So there's a song that I was just singing. It's like, it's Let Me Love You, 'cause I will love you until you learn. Libra, I think that you are rejecting love. And that is making you feel like you're having to work too much. So the 8 of Cups. 8 talks about abundance. But this guy is walking away from a whole bunch of very abundanceful, making up words. He's just walking away from all these cups, you know? There's cups of wine, water, tequila. So this is him rejecting emotion. And because he's rejecting this emotion, which I think is love, maybe someone is coming, you know, maybe somebody likes you, or maybe someone's wanting to take it more than you want it to go. Or maybe you're just not really paying attention to all of this good stuff that you have. You're just kind of like, no, I'm gonna go walk by my lonesome down the sea, down the shore to feel my feels. And you walk like this. You have the world's pressure on you. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. And the only reason why this is happening is because you are choosing to ignore this. And you might be afraid of it. You might be afraid of the fact that, you know, you are now ready maybe to let somebody else help you, ready for somebody else to also make rules with you, to make to go have some fun. You need to let people love you, Libra. And I know that doesn't sound very Libra, but Libras are so flighty. They're so, you know, they change their mind all the time, which, whatever. But most of the time, I think, Libras don't have, they're just like, oh my God, well, there's so many other options out there. And then they end up being by themselves because they're not actually allowing people to love them. They just want to love everybody. That they end up not letting people love them. And so this month you have the opportunity to change that. We have a huge portal. We have the Lion's Gate, obviously, and we have this full moon. And it's a great month. It's a good month. Like, the energy of this month is genuinely really good. If you guys have seen my card readings before, it's probably because I'm not usually, thank you so much. I appreciate that. See, my cards thank you too. But Libras, I think you just need to focus on letting people love you, okay? I think that that's the biggest thing. This month, do me one favor and think, who loves me? My mom loves me, my siblings love me, my friends love me, this significant other loves me. Just let them love you. And stop worrying about it. You do not have to carry the world on your shoulders. You do not have to be the only social activist in this entire world. You don't have to single-handedly make people's days feel better with your pretty awesome enthusiasm. You don't have to. Just let people help you. Let people care for you. Okay. This is Scorpios. Unless anybody else wants to take their Scorpio spots. Thank you very much, though. I really do appreciate that. And I might, yeah, it's fun. I think sometimes I'm just a person. And I get really discouraged a lot. So if anybody, and you know what? I'm just going to say this again. I know that I said it in the beginning, but I mean, we are here to be teachers. Thank you. We are here to be teachers. Light workers are teachers. We need to learn how to love ourselves, and then we need to go and take it out into the world. And that's how we raise the vibration. That is how we change this world that we're living in right now, that is so chaotic and that doesn't make sense. Because if you really, really do love your neighbor, you don't give a flying anything. If they are gay, if they are black, if they're white, if they're Asian, if they're anything. If you love people, it doesn't mean that you have to let them walk all over you. That's not love. If you truly love people and if you love yourself, we need to go out and spread it. We need to just spread it. That should be the thing that you want to focus on this full moon in Aquarius, spreading love. Okay, that's the end of my rant. All right, let's go to Scorpio. Let's go to me. Whew. Scorpio. So Scorpio, we got the Knight of Swords. We got the Knight of Swords with the underlying of the Ace of Wands. So, Scorpio, I think you have a lot of opinions. That's pretty funny. I think you have a lot of opinions and you have a lot of thoughts. Like a lot of thoughts, okay? And right now, especially right now, because Scorpios are transformation, okay? If you read astrology, for example, we have like a little pie chart. I think that's how you write it, yes. So we have a little thing like this, and we start here with Aries, and then Taurus, wait. One. I'm missing one. Hold on. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. I'm missing another one. Yes. Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, and then Libra and Scorpio. Scorpio is right here. It is the 8th house. It is the 8th house of transformation and death. And it's also ruled by Pluto, which was in massive retrograde the last, few months. Maybe it's still in retrograde. I don't know. But I don't think it is. And then we were also ruled by Mars. So there is so much going on in your life, in your head, really. It's really about your head here. It is so much information just kind of swirling around. And that's why we have the Ace of Wands here. So it's a lot of that passion drive, a lot of that mind stuff. We were talking about this earlier. We got this card. So it is so much passion and drive in your mind. And then you go into the Knight of Swords, who is charging forward with the sword. And the sword talks about truth. And I think that the Scorpios this month, if you choose, Coin Master, if you choose to use all of that passionate energy that you've been harnessing, and if you're really bringing a lot of that new energy and new information, you are going to use it to propel you forward, so that you start speaking honestly. And you probably might say some stupid things sometimes, honestly, because like the Knight of Swords is also a younger person, okay? So we do have to take that maturity level into consideration. Right now, there's so much in your head that you're probably not going to think too clearly of whenever you go out there and you spread it, okay? And so it's just, but that's the energy. That's what it is. The spreading of the truth, the fighting for the truth. There's this, I've been thinking a lot actually about this idea of the battle between good and evil, which I know it's kind of weird, but in the Christian faith, we have Archangel Michael, and I, even now in the metaphysical lifestyle, I guess, Archangel Michael is still a huge thing, and he was someone that was really there for me whenever I was trying to understand what path I needed to follow in this in the metaphysical community, you know, in the spiritual community, what was truly my spirituality, and what was good for me and what wasn't good for me. And Michael is, he has a sword, and the sword is it's burning blue, and it's called the Sword of Truth, and that's why we have the swords here. That's why they're truth, they're air, their communication. So it all goes together. Isn't that wonderful? But I think that right now you're really sitting in that space again where you need to push forward truth, and you need to be honest, whether it is with your family members, with yourself, with your spouse, with the people around you, whether you want to go out and spread, you know, if you have ideas, if you have opinions, if you want to help the community, the only thing that you want to think about here is making sure that you don't hurt people on your way there, because you might get too excited. And Scorpios, you know, it's death. Think about it. Think about the most comical picture of death. Walking around and being like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I could just imagine like super blunt truth telling, and then people are just crying all around them. So you really want to sit in a good place of truth, okay? But no matter what, truth is truth. You just have to make sure that you don't hurt people on the way there. So even if it's even telling your truth to yourself, being honest with yourself, that's what this month is for. All right, let's move to Sagittarius. Unless I'm gonna write this, if you guys want another sign, please tell me now. Sag. Oh. Okay. So we just need Sag, Capricorn, and Pisces. Wow, this is the quickest I've ever gone through these things. Let's do Sagittarius for August 2020. Woo! You're getting married. I'm just kidding. But this is a celebration. Big time celebration, Sag. Big time, you know, Sag style. And then your underlying is Six of Pentacles. So helping out the poor. Okay, so what we really want to think about here, what this month is all about for you, Sag, is that community feeling. Full moon in Aquarius is doing things. So we really want to think about your community feeling. What are you doing to help other people? Because this is gonna create a sense of community around you that you might not have before. You might not have had before. And I think that that's where this month's process is going to be, is that you being abundant. Because even if you're struggling financially, or even if you feel like you're alone or anything, like maybe you feel like there's not enough, but Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter is abundance. So in some way, shape, or form, you are abundant in something. You know, it might be you are so phenomenally smart and you want to educate people, or you actually do have a lot of money and you want to donate, or you have all this care inside of you and you just want to share it with people and create those bonds. And it is really about you sharing your abundance wherever your abundance exists, okay? And it is about you being grateful and being humble and sharing that. And then you'll create this feeling of community. And that feeling of community, Sag, is what you've been waiting for, okay? That's what you've been wanting this entire time. You want someone, you want a group of people that can keep up with you, or that can give you that feeling of wholeness, of having so many people around you that you love and that love you, that you feel whole and at home. So if you have been doing that already, this is where you start building your relationships, your strong foundation for those relationships, where you share your abundance with other people and you create those beautiful, beautiful relationships right now that are going to last you your entire life. This community that you're going to build right now is going to really solidify the space where you are going to be in the next 10 to 12 years. Okay, so this is a huge month for you, Sag. Huge month, because you're getting something that you've wanted for a long time, and it's a great thing. And honestly, come on, party on, guys, party on. What's your Capricorn? I'm gonna go do my hair in the morning, and it's pretty late. I have to wake up. Capricorn. The beginning of the year was pretty rough for Caps. I remember that much. But right now, everything is kind of settling out. It's a lot of really big energy that's coming forward. We have the Lion's Gate, like I mentioned. We just got out of eclipse season. We just got, a lot of our planets went shadow period, so they're gonna go direct pretty soon. So it's not a complete shit show, but it's like a pretty big, massive storm of stuff. It's still storming, even though it's not like the sky is not falling anymore like it was for the first part of the summer. It's just now raining. A lot. So it's just a lot of energy. Capricorns. For August 2020. Wow. Let me just say that this is probably the fastest I've done a lot of these readings. Capricorn. So you have been partying, my friend. Partying very hard. And now you are in this place of sleep. So Capricorn, the Four of Swords, I think, is probably one of the... Swords is not generally a good, like a good stuff coming kind of I forgot what they're called. But swords, like all swords cards, are usually not generally very positive. However, the Four of Swords is actually not that bad. So this is talking about resting. Literally, just talking about resting. And it's not sorry, just thinking. That's pretty strange. So I think that you're coming from this place, right? You're coming from this place probably end of June, probably still for the first few days or first full week of August. So you're coming from this place of being surrounded by a lot of people, getting a lot of new things, having a lot of feelings, celebrating, having friends around you. You're coming from this place, and I feel like it's not really it's not fully filling you, okay? So that place wasn't like that place of friendship and connection wasn't actually doing what you thought it was going to do or what you hoped that it did. So now you're just kind of retreated. Okay, so this I know, you know, this person here technically is dead, but even if you want to think about that person as being past, it's not necessarily about passing, it's about transformation. And I think that right now you're going deep into who you are, and you're going to start questioning those things, questioning who you are and what is really going to fill you in this place and what your life path is. Okay, so there's just like a lot of questioning about that stuff, about what you're doing, what you're going to be capable of, who is going to be in your life whenever you do those big things, whenever you do actually have those big moments in your life in the future. So it really is talking a lot about resting, taking a step back, going inward, going into that place where, you know, technically you're dead. astral projecting into yourself, figuring it out. So this month is going to be you at some point or another, probably at the beginning of next week. You're going to be in this place of like, holy crap, I just did all that partying, I just did all that connection, I have all of those things, and I just need you guys to like take a step back. I need to chill. I need to go take care of myself right now because I need to figure out what's going on. So it might be coming from a place of stress, but it really is going to be beneficial because at the end of the day, you wake up and you learn so much about yourself. So that is Capricorns. And now let's do the last one, Pisces. Okay, Pisces. Pisces are so cool. So cool. Wow, I can't shuffle these cards. Wow, that's interesting. We've been getting a lot of repeating cards tonight. And we've been getting this card a lot. Whoa. Okay, that's cool. So this card is going to be the August card, and then this one is the underlying. So it's really interesting because both of these cards are cards that we have seen already multiple times. Well, I mean, the Hangman was for Aquarius? I think it was for Aquarius, yeah. And so we kind of already talked a lot about these two, but now they're in different places. So okay. I kind of get the feeling, I kind of get the feeling that there is some like, it's kind of weird, but I get a feeling that there's some sort of substance abuse. Or like some sort of addiction somewhere. I don't know. I wouldn't want to call it an addiction actually, but there's something sort of like maybe alcohol, maybe just a lot of that avoidance space. That's a better word. So the underlying is going to be the Three of Cups. And normally the underlying, this card is supposed to be good. I mean, I've been reading it all night long, and it brings out good stuff. It's usually about community and partying and being with your family and being with your friends and just like enjoying life. But right now it feels like it's almost toxic. And that's the type of energy that has been underlying this entire time, of having that like constant it's just, you know, whenever you party all the time, whenever you are drinking all the time, whenever you smoke, whenever you're engaging in situations like that, you're not really, you're being present, sure, and all of that is fun. It's very fun, trust me. But it's not fun if you do it all the time. That becomes a problem. And there really is there's this like underlying energy about that. And I guess if anything, the most basic part of that card is talking about being avoidant, being avoidant of something, of being in this world, of being part of a family, of being accepted, of being, you know, of standing up for themselves, of standing up for what they believe in. So that card, that underlying energy of being avoidant of the truth of their life, of what could be for them, is very much in that energy. And you can see that in multiple different ways. It doesn't have to be substance abuse. I've just, that just kept like ringing so hard. But, so that's why I say that. But it really could be seen any other way. It could be, you know, you playing video games 98% of the time, or it could be comfort food binge eating. It could be going to the gym obsessively. It could be making up all these stories. It could be writing like obsessively about other worlds. It's just some form of avoidance is happening, and it's very, very deeply ingrained. And I think Pisces in general have been trying to get away from that. But in order for them to stop being avoidant, they have to realize that what they are doing is not true. Or, you know, it's not real life. And if they've been sitting in that space for years, if that's their coping mechanism, then that's incredibly difficult. So anyway, I know the Pisces have been having a little bit of a hard time lately, but and that's actually one of their traits, you know, being avoidant. Like that's a very Pisces thing. But the next card, or the card for August, is the Hangman. And this is, I think, another card that kind of makes me feel like you're in that space. I think this person is like tied up. Okay, so earlier, yeah, of course, always. I'm gonna be getting my hair done tomorrow in the morning, like around 10, and so I'll be on my phone for a long time. But you can message me at that point. But anyway, so the Hangman, earlier whenever I read this, it was about not letting people walk over you, and there's this like thing where he's kind of there willingly, but this one actually has a different feeling to it. It feels more like he's actually tied up. Like he's like he's tied, like he can't move. There's he can't move, he can't go anywhere, he's just kind of there. And it feels like there's this acceptance of it. of like, oh, well, I'm here. Can't do anything. I'm not going to do anything about it. So it's a lot of that energy, you know. It's just not, it's almost like it was so hard that they just kind of stopped trying. And they accepted that. They were fine with the fact that it was just going to be hard, and they're just going to not try. So there's this like feeling of being stuck. And maybe it's even this that they want, you know. It might not even be what is happening, but maybe it's this that they are missing. They're not really relaxing. They're not really enjoying their life. They're stuck. Whether they put themselves up there or not, they're still stuck. They're tied up. They can't go anywhere. And that could be their own mind that's doing that, you know. Like I was saying earlier, that's the only thing that can really tie you up. It's your own mind. You're your worst enemy. So anyway, so that was it for Pisces. I think everybody needs this card right now. Just everybody that's watching and everybody that will see this. This card, the World, is about bringing our complexities into oneness. These are all different things. There's a lion talking about our courage. There's a bull. That might be a goat, I don't know. But there's animals, there's a guy, there's an eagle talking about transformation. All of those things, all of those complexities, we are not simple-minded people. We're not. We're so unique and so strong and capable. And the World card, it popped up right before I closed my deck. The World card talks about you having the ability to move into the energy that you want. So nothing I say, nothing right now, and this is what I like to tell people that work with me, I read based on the path, the energy that you have set forward. I can't tell you there's one true future because there's tons, there's timelines, you know. I'm probably reading one of those timelines out of the millions of timelines there are. So you have the power, you have the freedom, you have the responsibility to make your own choices. And if you don't like where you're going, all you have to do is change. And change is scary, but we are all changing all the time. Our bodies are changing right now. It's part of who we are. We are ever transforming beings. So this card, the World, is two things. One, guys, we need to help this world. Please. We need to help this world, and we need to help it by telling people how to love. Teaching people how to love and teaching ourselves how to love. And two, you are capable of doing absolutely anything you want right at this moment. You have full control of your life. You are fully capable of achieving your goals, your dreams, anything. You have your guides, the universe. It's all in your corner. The only one that is not in your corner is yourself. If you feel like you're not there, get yourself in your corner because the universe is already there. So, anywho, thank you very much for listening today. And I am available a lot. I'll get my phone notifications. So if you guys want to send me messages or anything, just send me a message through the page. Thank you very much. Have a good night.